There is a big province in this world which was built by slaves, and it is not in Europe, it is not in Asia, it is not in America, but it is right here in Africa. You might be wondering, which state, province, or city was built by slaves? Well, if you're wondering, let me give it to you. This Cape Town.
It's important to tell the story because slavery has shaped so many aspects of South Africa. I think not only our history, but also if you look at South Africa today, the language Afrikaans comes out of the slave narrative. Racism is something that comes out of course, of slavery. But it's also a message of hope, of how people brought under those conditions have overcome.
Who were the first settlers who visited Cape Town? What were they even doing at that time when they came to Cape Town? What were they doing? Did they see the land fertile for them to utilize it, or they just saw the people being vulnerable and they decided to colonize them? What happened?
Cape Town was first the home of the Khoisan.
The original owners of this land are people who are called the Khoisan. They are made out of two groups, the Khoikhoi and the San, who survived through hunting and gathering.
In 1647, the Dutch East Indian Company ship crashed at the Table Bay, which marks the first entry of the Dutch at the Cape.
So now, as one of their ships was sailing all the way from Netherlands to India, it sailed past Tableview. It's a very beautiful beach, and that ship crashed in that place, right? And as it crashed against some rocks, they couldn't proceed any further. And then, since they couldn't proceed any further, they decided, the senior merchants of the ship which crashed, decided to split the group of sailors into two. The first group was asked to remain behind and look after the remains of the ship, because there was high probability that it was going to be looted by some of the sailors or the locals. And then the second group was asked to go inland and identify a location where there is fertile soils and fresh supplies of water. So they came into this place and identified this location here, which is called the Company Gardens. This is the Company Gardens, a place which was set up by the Dutch. It is the heart of the city of Cape Town. It is because of this place that Cape Town has been established. Because had it not been established, or if they had not decided to settle here, maybe we could be having a different city altogether. Maybe Cape Town would not be here.
The slaves who built Cape Town for it to become this beautiful, to host tourists from everywhere in the world, were they all South Africans?
When you talk about the history of slavery in Africa, all I knew was Africans were enslaved and taken to Americas. But I never knew that Africans that were taken from different parts of Africa were actually brought in South Africa.
They were embarking on what was called slaving expeditions. They would go to places like India, Indonesia, small islands of archipelago, and also places like Angola and Mozambique. What does it mean? It means that was then the introduction of slavery at the Cape.
Upon arrival, they were stripped of their identities, often renamed after the month they arrived or their country of origin, and more alarmingly, reduced to commodities.
So whenever the slaves were brought to the Cape, they were given new names, right? I want you to take a look here. The names of the new slaves would also depict where they are coming from. In other words, the origins.
Yeah.
Right. Say, for example, if I'm given a new name, they'll give me a new name, and then my surname will be where I come from. This one is Corn Fan Angola. Yes.
So which means that
Corn was the new name, and then is the slave who came from Angola. So this is how they used to give the names of to the slaves. And also, besides that, some of the slaves were given the names of the day when they landed at the Cape. If you arrive at the Cape on Monday or Tuesday, you can be given that name. That's why you see there are some people who are called Monday, right? And then the surname will be the place where they're coming from. Or they will give you the name of the month which you arrived at the Cape as slaves.
In fact, many of Cape Town's slave descendants remain unaware of the origins of their names, reflecting a disconnect from their rich yet painful heritage.
If you want more history about Cape Town, then it means you have to go to Wedmaya's channel. He covered everything about the history of Cape Town. So go to Wedmaya's channel and you're going to find everything over there. Thank you for staying with me. I appreciate your time. subscribe to the channel, let me know your views in the comment section. Also, share the video too as well. And I'll see you in my next destination. Bye-bye.